Hello students, let us start our new session of chapter number 3, motion in a straight line. Now, let us discuss the new example regarding the motion. Example number 3.5, free fall. Discuss the motion of an object under free fall. Neglect air resistance. Basically, let us understand first what is free fall. Free fall, it means the object we are dropping from certain height. While this object is released from certain height near the surface of the earth, and now that object is moving downward side. This object, while it is moving downward side, at that time gravitational forces existed. So while this earth is moving by changing its velocity, because while we are holding that object, its initial velocity we consider as in 0. Now we drop it. While it is dropping, its velocity is non-zero value, that is based on the force of gravitation. It received certain velocity. So change in the velocity occurs will give you the acceleration. So this object released near the surface of the earth, it is accelerated downward side under the influence of gravitational force. Here, so acceleration of the object we are defining, that is based on acceleration due to gravity, which is defined as a g. If we neglect the air resistance, then that object is defined as a free fall. Here, we are taking acceleration due to gravity, a constant value based on the distance, that is compared to the Earth's radius r. So that value of g we define as a g, acceleration due to gravity, that would be equal to 9.8 meter per second square. So here we consider the height through which the object supposed to fall, that would be nearly equal to Earth's radius. So here free fall is the case of motion under the uniform acceleration. Let us assume that motion in a y direction, and now y direction, because we can define this variation upward side or downward side. Let us take y direction in downward side, that is a plus y, and minus y direction if object is moving upward direction. So here we can assume the motion in y direction, that y direction, because we choose upward direction as positive. So acceleration due to gravity we always define as a downward side, and that's why the negative direction is defined. So acceleration due to gravity, that A equals to, we consider as a minus g, that is equal to minus 9.8 meter per second square. Here just we have provided a sign convention. If motion is in upward side, let us take acceleration positive, and if object is moving downward side, let us take acceleration negative. So here object is released from its rest condition. Let us take that reference point y equal to 0. Now we are having 3 equations for kinematics. We are substituting the values from that discussion into that kinematic equations. Here we are having that kinematic equation v equal to v0 plus at. Instead of that, v0 equal to 0, initial velocity 0, a equals to minus g, which we have discussed over here. So that equation can be rewrite as v equal to 0 minus g into t. So that would be equal to minus 9.8 t meter per second. Another equation we are having x equal to v0t plus 1 half at square. Instead of x notation, we are taking vertical direction y. So that y equal to 0 minus 1 half gt square. So here initial y0 would be 0. A is replaced by minus g. So that equation becomes with the value minus 4.9 t square meter. Another equation we are having, that is v square equal to v0 square plus 2a x minus x0, that is equal to 2ay. Ultimately v square equal to v0 square plus 2ay. So here, while we are replacing this value v0 equal to 0 initial velocity, so it would be considered as v square equal to 0 minus a replaced with a minus g, so that is minus 2gy. So that value we are having minus 19.6y meter square per second square. So this kinematic equations we have rewrite in terms of free fall, which gives the velocity and distance traveled as a function of time and variation of velocity with respect with distance. So here the variation of acceleration, velocity and distance with respect to time, if we plot, we are having this graphical representation. First graph defines the variation of acceleration with respect to time, as under the free fall acceleration is constant, that is due to the gravitational force, so it is defined with a straight line. Second graphical representation we are having, that is variation of velocity with respect to time. So as with respect to time, velocity will remains constant, so it defines with a straight line. Here it is moving a downward side, so that based on the negative acceleration, then straight line it is available a downward side. All this graphical representation we are having in third quadrant because we have defined a free fall at a downward side with the negative acceleration minus 9.8 meter per second square. Third graph defines the variation of distance with respect to time, which we have evaluated from the equation y equal to minus 1 half gt square, that is 4.9 t square. Based on that, the downward curve we are having. So here, based on the previously evaluated equations for free fall, which defines acceleration, velocity and distance variation with respect to time, which is defined over here graphically. Clear? This is how the free fall can be defined. Now, let us take another example. Galileo's law of odd numbers, which defines the distance traversed during equal interval of time by a body falling from rest stand to one another in the same ratio as the odd numbers beginning with unity, that is 1, 3, 5, 7. We need to prove this. So here basically we need to calculate a distance traversed during equal interval of time. In earlier free fall session, we have evaluated distance y equal to minus 1 half gt square. So here, let us divide the time interval of motion of object under free fall in equal interval of time. That time duration let us define as a tau. And then we are going to find out the distance traveled within this time duration. Initial velocity is 0, So distance y equal to minus 1/2 gt square. Using this equation, we are going to calculate the position of object in the duration of 0, tau, 2 tau, 3 tau. And here, by placing these values of t with the 0, tau, 2 tau and 3 tau, in that equation, let us calculate these values. Here in the table, it shows the values. Here we can say that if we take this equation minus 1/2 g tau square in y0 position, so here by placing that value t equals to tau 0, all the values we are having a 0. Now place time t equal to tau, so y equation becomes minus 1/2 g tau square. Here that initial y0 would be there, so distance travel y0. By taking its a ratio, it would be 1. Now place 2 tau, so that y equation becomes minus 4/1/2 g tau square, so that would be equal to 4y0. Here, by taking its successive difference, 4y0 minus y0, that y0 is available in above value, that would be y0. So let us take the difference, 4y0 minus y0, it would be 3y0. So that ratio we are having 3. Now let us replace tau equal to 3, t equal to 3 tau. So it would be minus 9/1/2 g tau square. So that is equal to 9y0. If we take the difference 9y0 minus above distance 4y0, it would be 5y0. So that ratio we are having, that value we are having a 5. That is 5y0 divided by y0. Now let us replace t equal to 4 tau. That is a minus 16, y becomes minus 16/1/2 g tau square. That is 16y0. Let us take difference from above position, 16y0 minus 9y0. It would be 7y0. So ratio from the initial position, it would be 7. Likewise, place 5 tau and 6 tau. And by having the same process, we are having the ratio 9 and 11 in sequence. So while we find the distance, that is in terms of ratio of distance, we are having that odd numbers 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 and 11. This is what the law given by Galileo, that who was the first to make that quantitative study for the free fall and define in odd number of ratio. Clear? Now let us take another example. Stopping distance of vehicles. So here, when brakes are applied to a moving vehicle, the distance travels before stopping is called a stopping distance. It is an important factor for road safety and depends on the initial velocity v0 and the braking capacity or deceleration minus a, which is caused by braking. Derive an expression for stopping distance of vehicle in terms of v0 and a. So here we need to identify the distance traveled by the vehicle before it stops. Right? So here we need to identify that as initially object is in a motion having an initial velocity. As to that vehicle, if brake will applied, so after providing a brake, vehicle covers a certain distance and then it will stop. So here we need to calculate that particular distance. For that, let us take the reference equation from the kinematic equation, v square equal to v0x plus 2ax. Here, final velocity v would be 0 because after applying brake, vehicle will stop. So, as the vehicle will stop, its velocity would be 0. So final velocity v we consider as a 0. Initial velocity v0 is available with certain speed value. So here let us replace x equal to ds, stopping distance ds. So replace v with the 0 and x with the ds and make the subjective formula ds. It would be 0 equal to v0 square plus 2a ds. So ds equal to minus v0 square upon 2a. So this is what the equation through which we able to calculate the stopping distance. By observing this equation, we can say that stopping distance is proportional to the square of initial velocity. Now, if doubling the initial velocity, if the initial velocity will double, then stopping distance will increase by the factor of 4. For the car of a particular make a braking distance if we found to be 10 meter, 20 meter, 34 meter and 50 meter. For the velocities 11 meter per second, 15 meter per second, 20 meter per second and 25 meters per second. So here nearly consistent formula we able to get it. Stopping distance is important to calculate nearby the zone where we need to limit the speed. For example, a school zone. Right? So in the exam, they may ask to calculate a stopping distance. So for that, you can utilize this equation directly. Here, we are going to end this session. Hope you understood. Thank you.